I've just received some samples through the mail, this time from a company that's new to me called Resin Tech Models, based in the Netherlands. Now the owner Jan, I think it's Jan, forgive me if the pronunciation is wrong. The owner Jan contacted me via Facebook and said, look, I've got this new company, I've got an ever expanding range of products, can I send you some samples? So of course I'm always keen to encourage new entrants into the modelling sphere. So I said absolutely, send them through, and this is what he sent. If you have a look at the About Us section on the website, you can see that he started off doing his own designs and presumably selling those 3D designs on some sort of marketplace. And then he started marketing his designs as actual physical products. They're all 3D printed. He very kindly let me choose a range of products, and so I went for two scales, 1/48th and 1/35th, which are the two scales I tend to work in for armour. Let me run through everything, and then I'll give you detailed shots and we'll have a look at it. So in terms of 1/48th, this is RTM 076. It's the Eurolmash turret, hopefully that's the right way to pronounce it. And you can see how it comes packaged there. And what I'll do with each of these is I'll cut to dedicated close-up shots as we go along, and then I'll clean up the parts as well. You can see it's very nicely detailed there, so that's 1/48th. Here we've got another 1/48th turret. This time it's the initial hexagonal T34 turret, RTM 075, and there again I'll include some detailed shots of the parts. He also added some extra things. This is RTM 081, which look like some pistol ports and machine gun ports. I think there's a 1/35th scale. 1/35th scale again, we've got KV early type exhausts. This is a flamethrower that I requested, so it's the flamethrower nozzle, RTM 081. Here we've got some KV road wheels. This is upgrade set 3, RTM 006. We've got some KV storage boxes, model 1941, for KV1 and KV2 heavy tanks. And then finally a 1/35th scale turret for Dragon kits, the Soft Edge 1942 T34-76 model turret. Now, as I explained here, RTM products are all 3D printed without weld seams and steel texture. This is on purpose to leave you the modeler maximum freedom to add your own weld details. And that's a good excuse for us to look at doing some tutorials on doing weld beads with these models. Anyway, that's the initial 1942 T34-76 soft edge turret. Yeah, all very crisply printed. And you can see the mantlet. Alright, let's take a further look at all these pieces in detail. Okay, here we go. There's that 1/35th scale turret designed for Dragon kits. Yeah, it looks very nicely printed. You can see the hollowed out channels there where you can put your weld seams. The design of it is quite clever in that there's limited attachments, printing supports on the actual main part of the turret. You can see a little bit of thinking has gone into the placement of the supports there, and so they should be relatively easy to remove. Again, you might need something like a microsonic cutter, or you could just use conventional scalpels and cutters, but that of course may take a bit longer. And here we get various little extras, so as you can see there's plenty of spares in there. Alright, what I'll do is I'll remove some of the components, clean them up, and we'll take a look at it. For the cleanup, I use the microsonic cutter and conventional hand cutters to remove all the printing stubs or printing supports, and then cleaned everything up using the traditional sanding sticks, but also some mini drill bits used in my Proxon mini drill. As with all these sorts of products, there is a fair bit of cleanup, just like with conventional resin. It's fairly quick to do, and relatively rapidly you get your part released and cleaned and ready for assembly. There's plenty of spares supplied within the kit, and that will be useful as you'll see later on. It's made for the Dragon 1/35th scale kits, but here you can see it fitted on my Zvedda 1/35th scale model with no problem, and it looks really good. Notice of course that I still have to do the weld seams, and we'll be looking at that momentarily. Here are some stop animation shots of the turret, and it's a great rendition, nicely detailed, well printed. I also had a go at the Eurolmash 1/48th scale turret, you can see here, and I proceeded exactly the same way. You can see just how nicely printed it is and well supported. The advantage of something like an ultrasonic cutter is that it's slightly less fatiguing to use, but I also use conventional cutters as well. I sanded everything down with foam-backed sanding pads or sanding sticks, and it really doesn't take that long. Preparation being something we're all used to in terms of aftermarket items. It's worth saying that the material, the resin itself, is a bit more brittle and fragile. You can see there I had a little crack when you compare it to something like your plastic model components, but it was very easy just to glue it with some super glue, allowing me then to do something that's required in the kit and that the manufacturer's open about in terms of adding some surface detail. The barrel there you can see snapped off, proving once again that the resin in question, the print resin, is a bit more fragile. Mr.Surfacer 1000 diluted with acetone gave me the texture I was after. There were some problems with one or two small components that had separation in the layers and the print layers, but that was very easy to overcome. There were plenty of spares, and a bit of superglue and Mr.Surfacer soon sorted that out. Here I am just spraying the model with some primer, in this case by Life Colour, and that revealed a little problem with the print on the hatches. And there again, that was easy to resolve by putting a thick layer of Mr.Surfacer just to get rid of the striations in those particular hatch pieces. There we have it then, with additional texture added to the sides using more Mr.Surfacer. And for the final effect I used Mr.Surfacer in a can. This is the GSI Primer Surfacer, and it gives a really thick coat that helped seal in all the details and show just how good the final rendition is. I dried it off with a bit of heat and air, and there you can see the turret ready for painting. It's got a very smooth aesthetic, I like the design of it, and the plan is to integrate this into a flamethrower tank at 1/48 scale using the other components. Now then, it's time for a tutorial on doing the weld beads. As you know, they don't come in the kit. For this I use Tamiya epoxy putty, the Quick Type. It's a two-part putty and you just mould the two pieces together with your hands until they're a uniform yellow. I then roll out some thin strips and apply them very carefully to the turret. Carving tools and spatulas are essential for this to press in the putty and get good adhesion. Also, I recommend the safety solvent from AVs. This is a really good solvent that smooths out this sort of putty and indeed many sorts of putties, and helps with the cleanup and making the weld seams nice and tidy and removing any surplus. When you've carved away any excess, you can start to think about how you're going to do the actual weld seams or the relief of the weld beads themselves. I give everything a quick smooth over, and then you can use your different wax carving tools to try out different weld effects. Obviously you get thicker weld beads in certain parts and smaller weld beads in other parts. I like to use a piece of tubing, or in this case a needle. If you smooth off the end to get a little U shape, you can then press that into the putty to get convincing weld beads. And that's generally how I do it, with a filed off needle like that, or a piece of brass tubing held in a pin vise. You work your way around the turret and build up a little pattern of semicircles all the way around representing the weld. You can smooth it over periodically using a flat brush and your safety solvent. Also, one advantage is if you're not happy with what you've done, you can of course smooth it right back with the safety solvent and your finger and start all over again. I don't like to overthink these things. Some of the very first T34s were very well made and engineered, but later on they were just mass produced as quickly as possible to help the war effort. So don't overthink it, just get some realistic weld beads and you're away. These will look great under a layer of primer and then paint. As you can see at the moment, the turret's just placed temporarily on this hull, an old hull I was working on that's been in some very old videos. And it's starting to look really good. Other components were of course welded on as well, so I had some further little weld bead details as necessary. To be honest, I didn't check the validity of the placement of all of these welds, but that I put down to the creative side. And it seemed logical that that might be a location there around the front of the gun mantlet. Either way, it's easy enough to remove before painting. And here's the finished effect, a 3D printed resin turret showing nice detail and additional weld beads. There you have the two turrets I assembled for this video, looking very good. Don't forget that this manufacturer has a whole range of other products, including full kits, like this wonderful heavy tank or breakthrough tank, as well as all the other little examples I showed you and the glimpses from the website. Please do show your support. We are likely to see more and more of these 3D printed manufacturers replacing the traditional resin aftermarket manufacturers. The pricing and quality of these items are, to my mind, comparable to traditional resin aftermarket items. The advantage of having these parts pre-designed and printed and delivered to your door is obvious. You could of course get into 3D printing yourself, and that's something I'm going to be looking at in a future video. But that's all for now, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to check out the RTM website and show your support, maybe buy some items and mention this review if you do. Please consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it, and it costs nothing. Thanks and bye.
Subscribe for our latest videos.